What's up, everyone? I'm Chris. I'm your NFL writer here at OccupyFantasy.com, and it is time to talk about running backs for the Week 1 slates on FanDuel and DraftKings. We're kicking off the season. We're ready to build some lineups with some of our favorite players across the NFL, so let's just dive right into it and talk about some of our favorite running backs to use throughout the season. And there is no running back more appropriate to lead off our discussion for the 2021 season with than Christian McCaffrey of the Carolina Panthers. Panthers 4.5-point favorites going into their matchup against the New York Jets this week. And McCaffrey, he has a very limited work in 2020, battling some nagging injuries, after a dominant 2019 campaign. And he still gives us at least 24.8 DraftKings points per game in his limited work throughout the season, gets at least 18 carries, sees a minimum of 4 targets per game. That's just, we're never going to sneeze at that. We're never going to complain about that usage. We have no reason to believe that McCaffrey's usage is going to be any worse than this, heading into a very favorable matchup with the New York Jets. So Christian McCaffrey is going to be a fine play at just 9,500 on DraftKings this week. Dalvin Cook is also a favorite against the Cincinnati Bengals. And Dalvin Cook actually also gets to run behind the offensive line that was the number 1 blocking offensive line in 2020, according to Football Outsiders DVOA. So Dalvin Cook in an extremely favorable position to have a strong game to open his 2021 campaign. As a result, we think Dalvin Cook will see about 35 weighted opportunities touch the football. Weighted opportunity would consider a target in the passing game to be just under 3 times more valuable than a carry. So to get to 35, what we're really saying is we expect him to get like 20 to 22 carries and somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 or 5 targets in this game, 25, 26 overall touches. That's strong work. We're certainly not going to complain about it at his price in an extremely favorable matchup against a defense that was just 28th defending the running game last year. So Dalvin Cook, probably one of the better plays on the board as a result for the Vikings. Speaking of favorite running backs, but the favored status being a little less so, it's this guy, the big dog, Derrick Henry, with the Tennessee Titans, and just total monster in the running game. Saw what happened in the playoffs last year. Still got his touches, right? He had 18 attempts, 3 targets, 21 total opportunities to touch the football. In a tough matchup, he was limited. This is how, frankly, that is how Derrick Henry fails in football games. He just doesn't get a ton of targets no matter what the game script is. But they love giving him the football. He's just so difficult to stop, bottle up, bring down. He's going to get the football more in games where Tennessee is within a score and they can afford to kind of bleed a little more clock and run and stuff like that. So I don't think we're going to see him fail like he did against the Ravens in the postseason this past winter in week 1 here against the Arizona Cardinals. But the risk is here that this becomes more of an aerial assault, high-scoring game. At least as far as betting markets are concerned, they have this is a 52-point total. Derrick Henry definitely going to be popular because the touches are guaranteed, but a little bit less so on the weighted opportunity side. You can probably expect him to get 20 to 22 carries and 2 to 3 targets at the most. So Derrick Henry, definitely someone people are going to be using. Alvin Kamara is going to be super popular this week. Everybody's been pretty tuned in, all summer if you've been building best ball rosters or drafting your season-long leagues out there. Everybody knows Michael Thomas is out for at least the first 6 weeks of the season. And everyone knows what Alvin Kamara did when Michael Thomas missed extended time last season. I mean, we can go back to kind of this week 3 on stretch, and he had 14 games with 14 targets, games with 10 targets, 13 targets. Just pure domination in the passing game in terms of opportunity for the New Orleans Saints. And this is a passing game that has gotten arguably worse in terms of the skill position depth. Manuel Sanders was a wide receiver too that they had last year. He's now up in Buffalo. So, they're relying on a group of guys that, definitely want to check out our wide receiver video to learn a little bit more about that. But a group of guys is a little more unproven, whereas Kamara is a pretty proven asset in this offense. We think he'll see around 33 weighted opportunities touch the football, and his opportunities will be distributed more like, maybe like 11, 12, 13 carries and like 6 to 8 targets because they like getting him involved in the passing game. A very strong play in a high total game environment against the Green Bay Packers to open the season for Alvin Kamara, and we certainly like that. as well. These are 4 guys, that we think are all strong plays on their own merits, but how do you fit them into your lineups? Some of our research, frankly, has shown that in week 1 contests specifically, because we get access to these salaries so early, you only want to play a maximum of one of these high-priced running backs, high price being $8,000 or more in your lineups in tournaments. So, we think that at the end of the week, the end of Sunday, on Sunday night, we will probably see at least one running back in the Millionaire Maker winning lineup that is in this Austin Eckler to, Najee Harris to even all the way down to like Mike Davis, Damian Harris range in the winning lineup. Okay, so just keep that in mind in terms of like your lineup construction. Definitely think there is a lot of opportunity here in the middle of the salary table at running back. We'll break all that down for you. We will have information on our favorite plays in this range available in the Daily Plug, which will be posted on OccupyFantasy.com by Friday afternoon. So make sure you have a subscription. It's just, I think it's like $7 a week. You can get it for much cheaper than that if you buy an annual subscription. It comes with access to our DFS Magic lineup builder that'll help you build some of the best high-risk lineups in the fastest way possible. So keep an eye out for that. We definitely want to have all that stuff. I should say you want to have all that stuff available to you so you can build the best lineups possible to have success in DFS this season. I want to thank you for watching this video on running backs in week 1 of the NFL season on DraftKings, and we will talk to you soon.